All right. So the next thing to pay attention to, the next thing that communicates a lot is dominance and submission. Dominance and submission. Dominance is where we are communicating power, and submission is where we are communicating lack of power or no power. In every relationship, there is a dominance and submission relationship. We don't like to talk about these things, but our non-verbal communication will usually tell us who are the dominant people in the group and who are the submissive. We get this from animals. When you look at, for example, monkeys, there is always a dominant male monkey. This monkey is kind of like the leader of the troop, and all of the other monkeys will be more submissive. The dominant monkey, the way that they walk, it will be more upright. They will interrupt. Sorry, I should not. So let's say with monkeys, they will usually walk straight and their body will be more open, and the submissive monkeys will usually walk behind them. With lobsters, longxia, they also have a dominance hierarchy. This is from Dr. Jordan Peterson. He says that lobsters have dominance relationships. The lobsters who are more dominant they will open their bodies and they will make themselves larger. And the ones who, for example, let's say now when two lobsters fight with each other, the one that wins the fight, they will open their body bigger after the fight to communicate that I am the dominant one, I am the one which has more power. And the lobster that loses the fight will make itself slightly smaller, which will communicate to the first lobster and also the other lobsters that I am the more submissive one. I don't have as much power as this lobster. In all animals, we see this kind of dominance and submission relationship, and in humans, we have the same. Melanie.
就是不管在动物、人类，都有，一个是占统治地位，占统治地位的那个，他一般从肢体语言上就会表现得更加开放，比如他站的时候是非常挺立的，就像一个人打胜战的时候，他会挺胸，然后扬头，然后表示自己就是那个赢家，而另一方他就会让自己看上去更小，比如会缩在一起，然后像一般动物的话，你会看到如果两个动物走在一起，有一个是显得更具有支配性的，另外一个反而是被支配的那一个，所以就是这个样子。Okay.
With human beings, we can see non-verbal communication which shows us dominance. People who are more dominant tend to talk louder than other people in the group, and they will interrupt other people while they are talking. They easily interrupt people because they feel that I have more power, I have the right to speak anytime I want. They will sit and take up more space. They will spread their bodies, and when they stand, they will stand straight with very proud posture. They touch people more often. They make more eye contact with people. They feel that they can make eye contact with anyone. They have the right to make powerful eye contact with anybody. And often they will be late because they are important. They don't like waiting for other people. They prefer other people to wait for them. Melanie.
就是dominant 统治的那一方，就是他，你可以从他的非语言形态上去看得出来。 比如他一般会讲话讲得更大声比其他人，然后他也更容易说打断别人，因为他觉得他是有这个能力或者有这个 power 的。然后他的身体语言一般会坐的或者站得更直立，然后他也会经常与别人有肢体或者眼神接触，因为他觉得他也是有这个能力有自信去与别人眼神接触的。然后你从他的形态啊姿态都是可以看得出来他的自信。而且就是另外一点就是他比较容易迟到，因为他觉得他是很重要的那一个人，所以别人会等他，而不是他等别人。OK.
With women in dominant positions, there's a very good example of the German president, the president of Germany. Her name is Angela Merkel. She is a very, very good example of a woman who is dominant. The way that she shows dominance is different from men. She's more quiet, she's more calm, and she doesn't change her facial expressions very easily. She has a very still facial expression. She pays attention to people and she doesn't talk as much. She doesn't show her emotion very clearly. Melanie.
有一个很好的例子来表现女性的统治者，就是统治者的那一方的人，就是德国的总统，然后名字我也忘了。就是举个例子，他一般会很安静，然后很冷静的坐在那里，他不会很容易的就表现出他有什么情感在他的脸上，像表现得很尴尬、很生气，因为他马虎那样上面。当然不经常说话，也不会说去表露自己的感想，所以你看到他就会觉得他就是统治者的那一方，所以这是一个很好的例子。OK.
The next one is submission. So submission is the communication with our body language, our tone, our facial expressions, our eyes, that we have less power than somebody else in the group. We notice that people communicate submission when they don't like to look at people directly. They will avert. We say they avert their gaze. They will look away. They show their anxiety or their nervousness. They speak in a higher tone. They tend to touch their face or touch their body more often because it makes them feel a little bit more relaxed. It's like they are trying to calm themselves down by touching themselves more. They blink more when they are looking at people because it's hard for them to maintain full eye contact. And they laugh a lot. They have a lot of laughter when they are with people because they are trying to let go of the nervousness by laughing too much. Melanie.
就是被支配的那一方，他一个是从肢体语言会显得比较不那么自信，比较看上去比较小一点，缩在一起，然后就是他会觉得自己没有那么大的能力，所以他会不太敢看向就直面其他人，特别是他会避开别人的眼神接触，或者是直接就不停的眨眼，或者是把那个眼神避开，因为他会感到紧张，所以他就不太想敢与别人直面接触，而且他紧张之后会容易摸他的脸，或者是有一些小动作。而且他说话的时候声音会有点高，就音调会有点高。还有一点就是我刚才问的那个，他在一个组里，如果他觉得那个场景很尴尬，他会有点尬笑来暖场。好了 ，OK.
And the last one that we can pay attention for is deception. Deception is kind of like dishonesty. It's when people are trying to cheat us people are trying to lie to us, people are trying to hide something from us. They have non-verbal communication. There is non-verbal communication that if we pay attention to and if we decode properly, we will have a better idea when to trust someone and when not to trust them. Often it is a feeling, because remember, we are paying attention to all of people's non-verbal communication, and especially when it comes to dishonesty or distrust, we get this feeling inside us that there's something not right here. Most of us tend to ignore that feeling, but we have to now start paying more attention to, why do I not feel comfortable with this person? Why do I feel that there's something they're not telling me, or there's something wrong about this situation? An example is of people who are con artists. A con artist is a person who is trying to pretend to be honest, but actually trying to steal something from you or do something dishonest. And often these people will seem like they are very boring, or they will seem like they are very normal, that there's nothing strange or different about them. But they do that because it makes people feel more comfortable, so that they can steal or get something from the person that they want. Melanie.
Deception 的那个词义我还没查，但是大概就是它是假装性的诚实，然后它是假装性诚实，然后来获取自己的利益，一般就很像那种骗子。所以你先举个例子吧，就是他们仿佛看上去友好，或者是看上去很无聊很正常，是为了让你觉得是与他交流是舒适的，然后放松警惕，然后后面他就会开始骗你啊，偷你东西什么。所以举个例子，就是Bob有个朋友，他有个人打电话给他说他信用卡的有点什么问题要检查什么的，然后呢说要拿他的电话号码密码各种信息都要告诉他，然后就表现得非常友好，事实上他是想拿更多他的信息，然后就可以拿到他信用卡里的钱。所以就是这种，一般如果这个人对你非常的友好，甚至是过度的友好，你就要想清他的意图到底是什么。然后一般你可以看从他的非语言动作里面看出，去观察他是不是这种有目的性的假装诚实，实际上是为了骗你的人，然后你是可以感觉到的。但是问题就是很多人他会忽略自己的这种感受，觉得自己不应该那么想，然后就会被骗。所以我们不应该忽略他，而是去询问自己为什么他要这样做，然后不停地去观察以及思考。Okay.
All right. Thank you, Melanie. Eva, can you help me with the next one? So, in the beginning of this class, we were talking about the law of role playing. We said that people play roles. People are like actors and they are playing different characters. They use their words to communicate one thing, and their body language, their non-verbal cues, their facial expressions, their tone communicates different things. Milton Erickson was saying that it's like there are two different languages, and we must learn how to pay attention to both languages so that we can understand people a little better, so that we do not find ourselves in difficult situations. This is one thing. We observe people, we pay attention, we make notes, we try to understand their patterns, we look at their baseline, their usual moods, their usual emotions, their usual expressions. And we find patterns, we look for differences. We are practicing observing and decoding. This is all great, but we also have to remember that we ourselves are actors. And the best thing to do is to play our character well, to control our own body language, facial expressions, tones, everything that communicates to other people how we are truly feeling might have some kind of negative consequence, some negative reaction if other people understand what our nonverbal communication means. So we want to control our impression. We want to control the impression that we make on other people as well. Eva.
就是一个角色扮演的过程，然后在这种过程中，我们很多时候靠交流，然后不仅是身体上，不仅是言语上的，还有肢体语言上的一种交流来获取对方的信息。然后有人觉得这种归为2种语言，然后我们必须要，如果我们能够同时理解这2种语言的话，会更加有助于我们去了解对方，然后就不会让自己放在一个很尴尬的一个情况下，然后是从那种情绪、心理还有表情的各个部分来进行理解，就是去与对方进行交流。然后除此之外呢，我们还要注重于自身的一个角色的演绎，就是我们同时就不仅是要去与对方进行交流，同时还要去控制自己的身体语言，然后这样的话是一种更好的方式去与对方进行交流，因为我在一种消极的情况出现，所以我们就要学去，然后也可以更好的控制和别人的交流。Yes, I'm finished.
Okay. I want to give an example here. President Bill Clinton. President Bill Clinton was the president of the US during the 90s. I think it was during the 90s. And he was very good at impression management. He was very good at catering his communication style to other people. He was very well educated. He had a lot of experience, but when he was speaking to a certain group of people, he would look at their background, the kind of culture that they were interested in, and he would communicate to them using similar words that they would use. If, for example, they were other politicians, they were governors, they were leaders of state, he would speak to them in a certain way. And if they worked in factories, if they were citizens who worked in supermarkets, he would communicate to them in a different way. His communication style would change, and so would his hand gestures, his body language. He would be very careful about his verbal communication as well as the non-verbal to make the best impression on different kinds of people. Eva.
就是美国有个例子，就是美国的有一个克林顿总统，然后他除了是一个很好的自身演绎者，是一个很好的跟他人对话的一个 会对文化等等方面了解这是语言，然后去跟对比较对适应，比如说他会用类似于超市的一种而且用语，然后就跟他进去对话，他会控制自己的手势啊，然后什么的，然后就会注意对方和非言语上的一些习惯，然后以达到更好的交流的目的。Yes, I'm finished.
All right. Impression management is all about being the best actor that you can be, to make the best impressions on people. And it is practice. It comes by observing other people, observing yourself, understanding what kind of non-verbal communication you are constantly doing, looking at your own patterns so that you can manage them, so that you can change or control your non-verbal communication. At the end, you want to be the best actor you can be. Eva.
就是在这个交流的过程中，印象是很重要的。然后除了印象之外，还有表情啊，然后观察，不仅要观察别人，还要观察自己，然后要理解对方，然后在管理自己的各种肢体语言还有言语上的一些习惯之外，还要在其中去学习、去改变，然后去以更好的去适应，去跟对方进行交流。Yes, finish.
All right. Thank you.